Well, now, there's a need that ain't never satisfied. And a good Saturday morning to you. Welcome to Cocopah Speedway's Laptime Live. Brought to you by Cocopah Casino and by 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating. Racing Radio here on Outlaw Country AM 1400. I'm your host, Mike Stanhope, and thank you for joining us this morning. Well, speed, it was the word last Saturday night out at Cocopah Speedway. Speed in the form of track records, as all 5 divisions saw a spirited battle to lower the fastest lap mark. Can they go lower? Well, we'll find out next Saturday when racing returns with round number 4 of the 2014 Cocopah Speedway Racing Series. All 5 divisions will be back in action. IMCA Modifieds, Pro Stocks, Fisher Automotive Street Stocks, IMCA Northern Sport Modifieds, and the Napa Auto Parts IMCA Hobby Stocks, all slated for action again next Saturday. And joining us a little bit later on this morning to talk about the action at Cocopah Speedway and his own step-up in division, Yuma's Rick Hibbard, driver of the number 41 Street Stock. He's going to be joining us in just a few for a visit. We'll also talk later this morning about the recent passages of a couple of local dirt track legends. First, though, a final recap of last Saturday's blistering action out at the Diamond in the Desert, where nearly 2,000 yards of fresh clay had been groomed into the racing surface, setting the stage for fast times that were in evidence all night long. And it did not take long to get started. Speeds quick right out of the box, a new track record being established in the modifieds during hot laps, but that one didn't stand for long at all, as by the time the night was over, 9 different drivers had broken through the 20-second mark and laid down laps in the 19. 6 drivers breaking that threshold in the IMCA modifieds, 3 more doing it in the Pro Stocks. And as noted, the Street Stocks, the IMCA Hobby Stocks, and the IMCA Northern Sport Mods were also in on that party, as new lap marks were set there as well. We'll be talking more about those individual lap marks momentarily. Exciting as the speeds were, well, the on-track action in the features even more so. And we start our review this morning in the IMCA modifieds, where it was Chandler, Arizona's Ricky Thornton Jr. behind the wheel of the Anthony Madrid-owned 5M machine, working the low groove and working it hard to take that modified feature win. Starting out of row number 4, Thornton made up ground in a hurry, getting to second on lap number 4, and then setting his sights on the early race leader, Minot, North Dakota, Spencer Wilson, in the 75-5 car. Those two waging a side-by-side battle for nearly 10 laps, with Thornton finally making his move on the inside.
Yeah, I knew we were good in both lanes, and I knew Spencer wasn't going to get off the high side, so I kind of had to go to the bottom, just make do what I could, and hopefully we got lucky and get by him.
Well, Thornton did just that, although Wilson was able to stay close as things got a bit dicey in lap traffic.
Yeah, it was definitely hairy a couple times. I don't know most of these guys here because I haven't ran here a whole lot, but it was exciting, that's for sure.
More blistering speeds as Thornton took the win. Wilson in the 2 spot at the end, and Underwood, North Dakota's Marlon Seidler in the 7S was third. Another nice drive also laid down by Casagrande's Brian Schultz in the L8 machine as he took fourth after coming out of row number 7. In earlier heat race action, it was Thornton Jr. setting the new modified track record time at 19.508 seconds. Well, quick times as well in the Pro Stocks, the low groove in play there as well. Westmoreland, California's Brent Ashurst in the number 21, starting from the rear, avoiding a mid-race collision that took out the 17Z of Yuma's Joe Haynes en route to Ashurst taking the Pro Stock feature win. Ashurst fast all the way around, his car really hooking up on exit from the turns in a drive that could best be called smooth.
I don't know what it is about this car that it's inherently tight, and I tend to like that, so it takes a lot of patience. You got to wait on the throttle. I'm sure a lot of these drivers understand that, but if you can wait for that perfect point to mash the throttle and get the traction, you have to, when you're racing with a lot of guys, your instinct is to just nail the throttle and go, and it seems to work. I'd rather have that track than a hammer down track. This is more fun. You can actually feel your car out versus just putting your foot to the floor and whoever has the most power wins.
Ashurst was chased to the line by Yuma's Brett Samala, applying pressure in his number 1 car, while San Diego's Steve Jonas in the number 99 finished third. Pro Stocks also seeing a track record lap laid down during earlier heat race action. Ashurst doing the honors with a quick lap of 19.677 seconds. Along now to the Napa Auto Parts IMCA Hobby Stocks, where a new name broke through into victory lane. Yuma's Leonard Manos driving the number 48 battled early with Yuma's Craig Ebers in the number 22. Manos working both high and low, pulling off the pass on lap number 4 and driving off to his first ever feature win in the IMCA Hobby Stock.
Thanks to the people that helped me out, got me here at the track. Car ran good tonight. I want to say thank you to Greg Burgess, wherever you are. Puts on a great show here. He's really done a lot with the track, and we really appreciate it. Had a fun time tonight. I've been waiting a long time for this one.
Manos racing on the clay at Cocopah Speedway after many years on the asphalt elsewhere, noted that the learning curve continues, and that in turn allowed him some flexibility in the turns.
3 and 4 was great, though. Coming out of the 3 and 4, I mean, I could come off from the middle of the turn with my foot on the floor and keep it there. So the track was really good. The track came to. The longer we ran, the better it got. So,
as noted, the win was Manos' first ever. Ebers in the number 22 took the second spot with Somerson's Michael Laura in third. And during earlier heat race action, Manos laid down a lap 22.121 seconds, fastest recorded so far for the IMCA Hobby Stock division. That division, of course, in its first year of IMCA sanctioned competition. Next up, the Fisher Automotive Street Stocks. The action 4 wide on several occasions, a tightly bunched field running together lap after lap, and in the end it was Yuma's Adolfo Noriega in the number 35 getting to the finish first despite the recent loss of his primary racing engine.
Oh yeah, it feels great winning. You know, I didn't have a lot of faith in this backup motor. The reason it is the backup motor, we yanked it out because it wasn't getting it done. So I blew up my good motor, the one that ran good. We won 4 straight races with the other one, but we blew it up, and the backup motor had to come back in the game, and it's doing pretty good.
Captain Henry B. in the number 87, Dave Amos in the number 6, and Tommy Dafford in the number 81 all took turns at the front before Noriega got to the lead. Big mover of the night, Yuma's Jimmy Davey in the number 144, starting out second to last when the green flag flew, working his way nearly all the way to the front, settling for second at the end. Dafford, meanwhile, rounded out your top 3. And yet another track record established in the street stocks, Chula Vista's Manny Baldivia's in the number 77, setting a new fast lap during earlier heat race action. Baldivia's clocking a new fast time of 21.348. And finally, we come to the IMCA Northern Sport Modifieds, where Yuma's Josh Wood in the J11 took a patient approach, taking full advantage of an early race caution to position himself for the run to the IMCA Northern Sport Modified win.
Yeah, it was tough racing at the beginning with all the traffic and that, and I knew my car was faster, and then once I got out to the lead, it worked real good. We've been fighting, getting the car how I liked it, and finally all of us at the shop, Jeff Fabrication, Bobby Horton, everybody, just want to say thanks. We got a good car now.
Wood first to the line, while Yuma's James Dupree in the number 84 laid down a strong drive as well, dropping as far back as 5th after that early caution before driving back to the front and taking second. Brawley's Cody Daffern in the number 18 took third. And yet another track record falling for the IMCA Northern Sport Mods. Miles Morris in his number 3 laying one down at 20.020 seconds during earlier heat race action in setting a new mark. As we noted, track records falling in all 5 divisions, all clocked, of course, since the advent of electronic scoring at Cocopah Speedway in mid-2012, and a new club of sorts now existing, the 19-second club, headed by Thornton in the Modifieds and by Ashurst in the Pro Stocks. Other names in there from the Modifieds, Lance Murray, Dwayne Rogers, Spencer Wilson, Jason Knoll, and Marlon Seidler, while joining Ashurst in the Pro Stocks, Brett Samala and Joe Haynes also dipped into the 19s. Next stop, that 19-second flat mark, and with the recent reworking of the track surface along with performance step-ups across the board, will that mark fall in the not-too-distant future? Well, no pun intended, time will soon tell. And with that, we get ready for action next Saturday night, round number 4 of the 2014 Cocopah Speedway Racing Series. All 5 divisions set for action. Again, that, of course, including the Fisher Automotive Street Stocks. And set to join us in studio, Yuma's Rick Hibbard, driver of the number 41. He is set to join us next here on Racing Radio. Cocopah Speedway's Laptime Live, presented by 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating and by Cocopah Casino.
It's Food City's big 2-day sale. Now through Saturday, take advantage of these savings.
Golden ripe bananas, 3 pounds for 99 cents. 73% lean ground beef, just $2.29 a pound, sold in the value pack. McCormick mayonnaise with lime, 28-ounce jar, just $2.69. Ankla chunk tuna, 59 cents a can, and 8 pieces pieces of fried chicken, just $4.99.
Thank you for shopping today at Food City, the store with low prices when you need them.
The City of Yuma Centennial Celebration begins with a week of colossal events, April 7th through April 12th. Tuesday, put on your best Western wear for a community barbecue at the Quartermaster Depot, hosted by the Salvation Army. Find out more online at Yuma100.com.
America's most seriously injured veterans are getting all the care and benefits they've earned. Thanks to Paralyzed Veterans of America, changing lives, building futures. To learn more, visit PVA.org, a public service of Paralyzed Veterans of America.
Welcome to the Year of Freedom with Clear Talk Wireless, where we all stand up together and say no to restrictions to your wireless plan. No contracts, no data caps, no limitations, ever. And Clear Talk always gives you the freedom to flash your current phone so you can keep it. That's the freedom of Clear Talk Wireless, and it's enough to make you feel as free as a panda. You know, because pandas don't wear pants.
Discover the value of freedom with Clear Talk. Get 4 lines of truly unlimited talk, text, and data for just $25 a month per line on Clear Talk's nationwide network.
Clear Talk. More value, more freedom. More at ClearTalkWireless.com.
The American Cancer Society's Relay for Life will be at Desert Sun Stadium on April 26th and 27th. Hi, I'm Rebecca Larson, the event chair. I invite you to get your teams together or join a team soon, as the deadline is fast approaching. The American Cancer Society's Relay for Life is an overnight experience you'll never forget. So we walked all night because cancer never sleeps. Last year, over 2,000 participants from 130 teams raised $250,000 to help find a cure for cancer. They made our Yuma, Arizona relay the biggest in the state of Arizona and New Mexico. Over 3,000 survivors came to our event, where we celebrated survivors, remembered our loved ones that we have lost, and fought back to raise funds to find a cure for cancer. For more information, visit our website at www.relayforlife.org/YumaAZ to get started today. That's relayforlife.org/YumaAZ.
Every Monday and Saturday, it's Gift Madness during the month of March at Cocopah Casino. Earn 250 points when playing your favorite slots or table game on Monday or Saturdays during the month of March, and receive a special bonus gift. Limit 1 gift per patron per day. Points must be earned that day to qualify. See Players Club for more information or call 1-800-23-SLOT. It's Gift Madness during the month of March at Cocopah Casino. Live the rush.
Need to order stickers? SignPro can produce custom stickers with your logo or business information. Give them to your customers or label your equipment for a great professional look. That's SignPro, 783-7776, or stop by 1702 South Arizona Avenue. SignPro, where they are perfect to the letter.
Music can't do better. The SignPro sign. America comes to SignPro.
Listening to Racing Radio with Cocopah Speedway's Laptime Live, presented by Cocopah Casino and by 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating here on Outlaw Country AM 1400. Once again, I'm your host, Mike Stanhope, looking ahead on this edition of Laptime Live to next Saturday's 3rd round of the 2014 Cocopah Speedway Racing Series. And joining us in studio this morning, Yuma's Rick Hibbard, driver of the number 41 Street Stock. And good morning to you, Rick.
Morning, Mike. Thanks for having me here.
Well, hey, thanks for joining us in studio this morning, Rick. Been wanting to do this for a long, long time. Haven't had the opportunity. Things finally worked out, and now we've got you here. I want to start off, first of all, with your entree, so to speak, into racing at Cocopah Speedway. Since the facility came back open, you were there just about at the beginning.
Yeah, that's correct. I was there just helping out a friend of mine with his car, and we own a body shop here in town, Rick's Auto Solutions, and we had built a show car, and I took it drag racing. Well, my wife had decided when we got back, she's like, I don't want you drag racing our show car. Let's buy a car for the dirt track and advertise our business. And that's all it took. You know, I've been hooked ever since. I'm just a speed junkie.
Hey, one definitely has to take advice when the wife provides it like that. You got off to a, let's say an upward trajectory, basically right off the shot. Coming in as somebody with no dirt track experience, there are lessons that the track will teach, and you've learned them, and that trajectory has been continually up.
That's correct. I mean, it's every week. The track's different, the car's different. The main thing is you've got to have a lot of luck on your side. Being at the right place, the right time, and you just take it how it is. Take what comes with you.
Tell us about the particular car that you elected to go racing with first, and of course, that's the car you're still running now.
We came across this car. It was an existing race car. Basically, it just had a cage in it, a seat, and a fuel cell, and then the work began. We just, owning a shop, I'm able to work on the car at, myself at my shop, doing different things here and there, and without the help of my uncle, Elmer, with the motor work, and he helps me in the pits, I wouldn't be able to do it by myself.
Absolutely on that. It is always team effort involved, and nice when you've got people close to you working with you like that. Now, you have stepped up in the points each year that you raced in the factory stock division. That culminated in a second-place finish in the 2013 points in the factory stocks, off for a few races, and now into the street stocks. What led you into the street stocks for 2014?
Well, I had made the decision that I want to regress in life. I didn't want to go backwards. It was a small class running even with the factory stocks. I had experience racing down in Casa Grande with 25 cars with my factory stock car, and just had an absolute blast. The competition in the street stock division is extremely high. There's a lot of fast cars, a lot of good drivers. And I wanted to step up to that challenge with my now existing converted factory stock car on steroids.
And how much of a challenge has it been so far making that conversion?
It's been quite a challenge. Like I said, those are some fast cars in that class, and I'm still running the street stock rules with a heavy car, but with 3 starts and 3 top 10 finishes. I'm very happy with the way the car's going right now.
And again, you've got some other plans potentially as we get deeper into the year, further work in that search for performance, so to speak.
That's correct. I have purchased another motor to build an IMCA legal stock car motor. Hopefully, I can have that finished by the transition of the summer break. Otherwise, it would be January of 15.
Love the description of the car as a factory stock on steroids. And again, you like to be hands-on with that machine.
That's correct. I don't know a whole lot about setup on the car. Rick Miller helps me with the setup on it. But as far as working on it, regular maintenance, I do all of that myself. All the sheet metal repair, which I don't like to do, but that's part of the game.
Absolutely. We're talking with Rick Hibbard. He drives the number 41 street stock out at Cocopah Speedway. You saw him behind the wheel of the number 4 in the factory stock division. Again, moving up this year into the street stocks, and we're going to continue our conversation with Rick in just a moment here on Cocopah Speedway's Laptime Live, again presented by Cocopah Casino and by 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating.
Hiking Fossil Creek?
Yeah, if you love the great outdoors, this is the spot.
I'll say. I'm Jim from APS. Have you heard of our refrigerator recycling program?
No, what's that?
It helps the environment by keeping your old fridge out of a landfill.
Oh, really?
Yeah. APS will even haul it away for free and give you a $30 rebate.
So I get money and help the environment.
It's definitely a win-win.
You've got options. Find them all at aps.com/options. Program funded by APS customers and approved by the Arizona Corporation Commission.
Community matters to Z93 and Outlaw Country. Crossroads Mission is holding a softball tournament on March 29th. Crossroads, in collaboration with Yuma County Drug Court and the Yuma County Anti-Drug Coalition, invite you to the Joe Henry softball fields on Saturday, March 29th from 9 to 3. It's a fun and sober event, and it's open to the public. They'll have free hot dogs, too. Come out for a day of softball fun. Get your team signed up early. For more information or to sign up, please call Chris at 783-9362. That's 783-9362. The Joe Henry softball fields are located at Colorado Street and North 23rd Avenue. If you'd like us to share your nonprofit community event, please send us the information at least 2 weeks prior. You can email them to jblackwell@z93yuma.com or fax them to 343-1710. Community matters to Z93 and Outlaw Country. Don't forget to like us on Facebook, and we'll share your community event on our pages too. Like us because we like you.
Every year, visitors from all over the world travel to Arizona and Southern California for many types of recreation. The BLM Yuma Field Office wants to remind all public land visitors of the dangers associated with any military or mining type of ordnance or explosives. The desert Southwest has a rich cultural and historic past that includes numerous contributions relating to a military presence that supported settlement of the West, desert training, and weapons development. This military presence dates back to the 1800s. The Sonoran Desert's mineral-rich ground has drawn prospectors and fortune seekers and is still considered a primary location for individuals looking to strike it rich. Evidence of mining history can be seen at nearly every mountain range in the area. When visiting the desert, if you encounter an item with any explosive or potential explosive danger, you are asked to leave the item in place and do not touch it. Also, leave the immediate area the same way that you approached it. Don't activate electronic devices on or near the explosive item. Once you are safely away from the item, mark its general location with flagging, GPS coordinates, or by some other recognizable means. And please, notify the BLM or any appropriate law enforcement agency by the quickest means available.
No matter what type of air conditioning or heating help you need, schedule some help from 1 Hour Air Conditioning. Ready for the season? 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating can help. No AC at all? 1 Hour can help. Need help upgrading your old inefficient system? 1 Hour can help. Now's the time to schedule your annual air conditioning safety inspection for just $59. Call 1 Hour today at 783-4242. Some limitations and exclusions apply.
We're always on time, but you don't pay your time.
Don't miss a single second of baseball action this season with the Arizona Diamondbacks. Tune in for the crack of the bat, every home run, and every out. It's the Arizona Diamondbacks on Outlaw Country AM 1400 all season long. Root for your home team. Just turn on your radio and we'll bring the game to you right here on Outlaw Country, where we're rattling with excitement.
Welcome back to Racing Radio with Cocopah Speedway's Laptime Live, brought to you by Cocopah Casino and by 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating. Once again, joined in studio this morning by Rick Hibbard, driver of the number 41 Street Stock. And Rick, want to talk about the fun factor. You are all about having fun out at Cocopah Speedway.
Well, that's correct. I'm like a kid in a candy store when I'm in that car. I mean, I'm not a young man, but when I'm in the car, I feel like I'm just a little kid. And I can have a bad night. I can still laugh about it. I laugh at myself in my car when I spin myself out. It's just a big adrenaline rush. And I find that the amount of money that it costs me to race each night, most people can spend that on a nice dinner and drinks and not have near as much fun as I have out there on that track.
And the relationships as well. You are close with a lot of the other Street Stock Division competitors. You guys have a ball. I've seen that before.
That's correct. I mean, there's probably 5, 6, 8 of us that pit together, and one of my fellow competitors is actually my neighbor, Joey Essery, and it's like I basically stop at his house every other night on my way home from work. My wife will look over the fence and wonder why I'm not home, and she'll see me down there. Well, we're talking racing.
And 3 races in now on this 2014 season. Any particular goals for you the rest of the way? Have talked a little bit about some possible further modifications coming to the car. Where would you like to be sitting at the end of the year, or again, are we simply back to just have a good time all the way through?
I just want to have fun. I want to be able to, finish the races, be respectable, be able to, run with those fast cars. It is what it is. Where I finish is where I finish.
I love the way you put that. Takes a lot of people, a lot of family support, other support to keep you in the action out at Cocopah Speedway. Can you tell us about the folks who helped to make it possible for you?
That's correct. First of all, I'd like to thank the Cocopah tribe for the facility that they have give us. The race on is always changing for the good. And without sponsors, you just can't afford to do this. Even though it's a hobby, it's very expensive. So, I have Rick's Auto Solutions, Auto Body and Paint, which is my business, Northwest Metal Fab and Pipe, Sun State Environmental, Facet Farms, Wayman Farms, Imperial Valley Paint, Banners Plus, Foothills Bank, AAA Machine, Cindy Thomas CPA, Novus Auto Glass, O'Reilly Auto Parts. And last but not least, I have a whole bunch of Canadian friends and winter visitors, so I have to thank Team Canada.
Hey, that's wonderful. How did that relationship kind of come about?
They've all been, they're all a bunch of them are neighbors, and I do work on a lot of their cars. And at the start of this year, when they moved down, I had told them, you give me X amount of dollars, I'll put a Canadian flag on that car. Well, it was before that two-night event. They showed up with a bunch of money. That first race, it had a Canadian flag on there with Team Canada.
I love the story, and of course, we've got a lot of Canadian race fans, big supporters of, well, all of the events that we see out at Cocopah Speedway. For the casual fan who's maybe not been out and checked out a race yet, you've basically got the best seat in the house, being behind the wheel of a race car. What would you say to that casual fan out there in terms of what to look forward to out at Cocopah Speedway?
Basically, just go out and enjoy yourself for the first time. It is probably the cheapest entertainment that you can do in the valley for 3 or 4 hours. If you don't know a driver, pick a driver. Now you've got somebody you can root for. Do it in each class. Maybe you want to have 2 cars in each class. Now you can have a little betting camaraderie with your friends. And I found that when I go up and sit in the fans after my race, they have a lot of fun up there. So the more people that you can get out to that track, the better it is for us and for the Cocopah tribe.
And well, hats off to you for what you've done in terms of helping to make race fans out of the occasional casual visitors. It's a wonderful thing to see.
I've enjoyed it. I mean, it's I haul my car home each Friday night. It's ready to go, and I do live in the foothills, and it's amazing how many people that I see out there that don't even know that the track exists. Now they have something they can do tonight, and now they say, hey, I've got a new car I can watch.
Working on changing that. Every time they come out, they turn into race fans. Rick, want to wish you best of luck next Saturday, and thank you once again for joining us this morning here on Laptime Live.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
All right, and best again to you next Saturday. Maybe an off weekend out at the Diamond in the Desert. Plenty of other activities, however, ongoing throughout the complex of facilities that includes Cocopah Speedway and Cocopah Casino. In with us to talk more about them this morning. Good morning, Anna Corpus.
Good morning, Mike. I hope you and your listeners are having a great Saturday. Tonight at Cocopah Casino, Roberto Tapia performs live in concert under the stars on the events lawn. VIP tickets are $45. Doors open at 7 p.m. and teens 13 and older are allowed at this concert, so bring the entire family. The opening act is Chapo Rubio. And across the parking lot at Wild River, Los Primos de Sonora perform live inside the sports bar and lounge. That starts at 10 p.m. And also I want to mention that this is my last radio segment with Cocopah. Next week, Juana Yek will join you, and she'll give you all the latest happenings at Cocopah Enterprises. Before I go, I want to thank Mike for welcoming me every Saturday, and also for Greg for inviting me to be part of this radio segment or this radio show. I've really appreciated it and had a great time. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you around town.
Best to you, Anna, and thank you for everything you have done for us. Say, you can find lots of other specialized content and information about all of those activities, shows, and more through Cocopah.com and, of course, through CocopahResort.com. Cocopah Speedway, make sure you check out the website there, too, for information on the full 2014 racing season, next Saturday night's event, and more, all available at CocopahSpeedway.com. Be sure to like us on Facebook, and remember to take advantage of online ticketing. Before we go this morning, we'd like to take note of the recent passing of 2 local dirt track legends. Yuma's Bill Snow, who passed away February 23rd at the age of 73. Snow raced both Yuma and Imperial back in the 60s and 70s, winning 2 Superstock titles at the then Yuma Speedway. We also mourn the passing this past week of El Centro's Lee Havens. He passed away on March the 16th at the age of 84. Leap and Lee Lee, as he was known to race fans throughout the area, became involved in racing back in the 1950s, ran stock cars in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, winning 8 titles at Imperial, Yuma, and Mexicali. Lee earned his last title with the Imperial Valley Motor Racing Association in 1984 at the age of 55. Among his other titles, a 1972 Superstock Championship at the then Yuma Speedway. Our deepest condolences to both the Havens and the Snow families. The racing family, a close-knit one, mindful of the memories and of the heritage as we race on into the future. I'd like to say thanks once again to Rick Hibbard for joining us this morning here on Laptime Live. Rick, one of the many who are getting set for action next Saturday night out at the Diamond in the Desert, Cocopah Speedway, as we get set for action. Round number 4 of the 2014 Cocopah Speedway Racing Series. Gates will open at 5 with racing underway at 7 p.m. All coming next Saturday out at the Diamond in the Desert. You've been listening to Cocopah Speedway's Laptime Live, presented by Cocopah Casino and by 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating. Back with more next Saturday morning, 11 a.m. here on Outlaw Country AM 1400.